I like the plan. Touch base with me next week and we can find a time to meet. Okay, bye. No more calls, June. I'm with the video people. Principals work in an increasingly complex, challenging, have either of you thought about it from the parent's perspective? And ever-changing environment. Mine. Learning to lead a school and learning to lead a school more effectively requires a clear understanding of what it takes to build great teaching and see young people thrive. That's where Aitsl's leadership profiles can help. Come on, don't just stand there. This way. The leadership profiles have been developed directly from the Australian Professional Standard for Principals to describe in detail what school principals are expected to know, understand and do to succeed in their work. A set of 80 leadership action statements are arranged in increasing proficiency. They describe the work of principals at all levels of experience and no matter what their context. I said no calls, June. These 80 statements are organised through a choice of 3 lenses. The Professional Practices lens details the 5 practices of the principal profession. The Leadership Requirements lens expresses the 3 common qualities of all good leaders. The Leadership Emphasis lens describes 4 approaches of principals depending on their career stage, capability and context. Now here's how to get started. First, decide whether to look at the statements through a professional practice, leadership requirement or emphasis lens. You can read more about each lens by clicking the information button. Next, select a focus from that lens and click or drag it to the core focus box. This will create a profile of statements that relate to that focus. As you move down your profile, the statements will describe the actions that effective school leaders implement as they increase in proficiency. To give an example, if you were to select the profile for leading the management of the school, you can see that while some principals allocate resources effectively to maintain the day-to-day operations of the school, more proficient principals will share best management practice and use of resources with other schools and educational networks. You can easily refine your profile further by adding an additional focus. Perhaps you're engaging and working with the community in your school. You might like to add a focus from the Leadership Requirements lens to see the personal qualities and social and interpersonal skills that you will need to draw on as you carry out this work. Selecting this additional focus will highlight statements in the profile for your core focus that are also shared by the added focus. Profiles from the Leadership Emphasis lens reflect the context in which school leaders operate, so this lens doesn't show increasing proficiency. Instead, it describes the actions of a leader as they adopt an operational, relational, strategic or systemic emphasis. There are always times where principals need to be operational, but the profiles remind us that with more experience comes greater capacity to shape relationships, strategies and systems. Once you've explored your profile, you can click through to the black resources arrow to access a list of resources targeted to support your professional growth in that area. You can save a link to these resources with the My Folder option once you've registered on the Aitsl website. You can even save these resources for future visits, which is handy if you're as busy as I am. I don't even have time to blink. If you'd rather work offline, then click the Download Your Profile button. Here, you can save the profile you've created as a PDF. With the interactive leadership profiles, it's possible to capture the many and varied practices and requirements of your role and to take a step up on the pathway to more effective leadership.
I'll take that call now, June.
Discover the true power of the interactive leadership profiles today by visiting Aitsl online at aitsl.edu.au/leadership profiles/interactive profiles.